Hey guys, it's Tara and welcome back to Reviewniforms. Yay! The channel where I rant, rave, review, and react to uniforms from all over the world, from all walks of life. I've been in the uniform manufacturing business for over 25 years. I own a uniform manufacturing company and I am uniform obsessed. So if you want to hear what I think about some cool uniforms or some not so cool uniforms, then keep on watching. All right, guys, before we get started, can you do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button below? It'll help me out so much with the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate you so much. Mwah. All right, guys, what do you got for me?
The legends and myths surrounding the samurai are about as numerous as Chuck Norris one-liners, so let me school you on some sweet samurai history.
Okay guys, I am super excited because this is obviously gonna be samurai, and I have always been fascinated with samurai. So yes, I'm super excited about hearing about the samurai uniforms. I get the feeling we're about to see some history, some intricate handiwork, and some really awesome stuff. So let's keep going. All right, Artrageous with Nate. Nate, show us what you got.
Samurais were the rock stars of their time, and their style of clothing massively influenced the fashion of the era. But except for the most formal occasions, samurai didn't really dress to impress. Their everyday clothes were not very elaborate, but every aspect of what they wore was designed to fit their needs as warriors. Samurai dressed for speed, travel, and freedom of movement. The regular outfit consisted of wide Hakama trousers and a kimono or attire, a type of vest that was pointy and imposing at the shoulders.
So let's take a look at the regular outfit for the samurai. This is definitely built for speed. I mean, think about how easy it would be to just like grab your sword when you don't have any like long, tight sleeves like impending on you. I think the idea of having the kimono is amazing. I mean, you've got complete range of movement with arms and legs. And the Hakama, I did not know what those were called, but I'm so glad that I know now. The Hakama pants, I mean, those things are just made to squat and get low and high, and so they can work those katanas and just have a lot of movement. I really like this, obviously designed for comfort. And if I might, let's just look at this a little bit. This is kind of giving couture in a way. If you look at the pleats on the shoulders and the way that the fabric is folded, I know that this is supposed to be a casual outfit, but I mean, I could see this on a runway. It's just giving, okay? Just trust me, it's giving.
The costume left the arms free, and the attire vest could be removed quickly in case of a surprise attack. The kimono was generally made of silk because of its coolness, feel, and appearance.
That's what I was thinking. This has to be made of some lightweight fabric because it isn't a slim fit garment. There is a lot of fabric that's flowing around. So if they were to make that out of something very thick and protective, it would definitely be heavy and completely defeat the purpose of having an outfit that just has so much range of movement. So I think it being made out of silk was very good designer choice, and probably the material that they had available at the time.
Think about the bizarre yet fascinating armor worn by the samurai. Unlike the ridiculously heavy armor of the Europeans, the samurai armor was built for mobility.
Yes, now we're talking. Now we're getting into the armor of the samurai. And I think you'll be surprised when you see this that there is just so little metal involved in the armor for the samurai.
A good suit of armor had to be sturdy yet flexible enough to allow its wearer free movement in the battlefield. The armor had lacquered plates made of leather or metal, carefully bound together by laces or leather of silk.
Isn't that cool? So if you'll notice, if you look really carefully, there is metal in their armor, but there's small metal pieces that are bound together and woven with other very heavy rope and silk, very thick, multi-layered pieces so that it can still remain light, but cover all the parts that need to be covered that could possibly be exposed to an arrow or a sword. Man, they were really thinking about the lightness and the durability of their armor. So smart. While thousands of miles away, the British are in full metal, just like weighed down by 1,000 pounds. Very ingenious. I love it. It's like technology, but not technology. You know what I mean? Sometimes the simplest solutions are the best ones.
The arms were protected by large rectangular shoulder shields and light armored sleeves. The right hand was often left without a sleeve to allow maximum movement. The strangest part of the armor was the helmet, called the Kabuto.
So we are learning so many vocabulary words today. The Kabuto. This helmet has always fascinated me because it's so scary. I mean, the helmets, when I think of a medieval knight, I mean, their helmet, you know, it opened and closed and you could see their face, but these were menacing faces. And all of it, I think, was just part of an intimidation, not just for protection, but also for that, you know, opponent intimidation factor. Let's see.
Its bowl was made of riveted metal plates, while the face and the brow were protected by a piece of armor that tied behind the head and under the helmet. The most famous feature of this helmet was its Darth Vader-like neck guard.
Darth Vader. I knew it, you guys. I knew this was reminding me of something. There was something that was familiar. There was something ominous, a little bit scary, a little bit sexy, and a little bit familiar about it. And of course, it's Darth Vader. And we all know that I drive a Stormtrooper Jeep and I have a little bit of love for the dark side. I'm a nice girl, but I like the dark side just a little bit, just a little.
That's right, Darth Vader's design was actually influenced by samurai helmets. George Lucas knew how intimidating this type of headgear would look. This design was ingenious since it defended the wearer from arrows and swords coming from all angles.
So the top of this helmet is obviously not functional for any reason. I mean, this big metal ankh that he's got on top of it, it really reminds me of the 18-inch bearskin hats that the Royal Guard wears. There's no purpose for that other than to intimidate your opponent, your foe. And I really think that the metal, whatever they've got going on top of their helmet was definitely to look more imposing and more intimidating. Honestly, to me, it just looks cool. I love all of the very special individualistic artwork that's gone into these uniforms, and that's not something you hear from me very often. You guys know I like a uniform to look like one thing and unify, but these samurai warriors really had it down when it came to individualizing their uniforms and making them look honestly like works of art.
Samurai originally carried a sword called a Choto, which was essentially a smaller version of the straight swords later used by medieval knights. As sword-making techniques progressed, the samurai switched to a curved sword, which eventually evolved into the katana. Are we looking at a suit of armor then?
Yes, a suit of Japanese armor.
Okay.
Of late 18th century.
Did this get used? Was it actually functional?
Yes, regardless of the elaborate and beautiful decoration.
This is really a treat to get to see this uniform in this museum so close up from the 18th century. Every little detail. There are beautiful knots. There's metal work. There's gold work. There's hand embroidery. They are making their own damask fabric. I can see silk. I can see texture. There isn't any technique they haven't used in the samurai uniform. It's breathtaking.
They were used, made for battle, and they were used. And then they were used by a high-ranking samurai. So it's really made very, very well. As you can see, it's not only functional, it's also very beautiful.
You guys look at that last still shot of the chest armor. 10 out of 10 when it comes to artwork. I mean, this is something that I would sit this in my house as artwork. It is absolutely gorgeous. You guys, we could probably have an entire episode just on the samurai uniform itself. What an absolutely beautiful battle garment. And even though the katana will always remind me of Kill Bill, which is like, she's kind of one of my favorite samurai, even though she's technically not a samurai. The samurai have a special place in my heart as one of the most beautiful battle uniforms I've ever seen. So, how many Reviewnicorns do we give the samurai? Come on, five Reviewnicorns. If nothing else, for that very last shot that we saw of this samurai uniform in this museum. I mean, what a gorgeous, gorgeous breastplate. Just the beauty and all the work that's gone into it. And can we give it up for the technology of them thinking of covering every single joint with metal and silk, just creating a uniform that works well and is absolutely bomb looking. Bravo to the samurai. I bow to you. Okay guys, what's next? So looks like here we've got the Hong Kong police, and it says they've got some new marching orders. So the Hong Kong police are switching up the way they march, which is, I guess, kind of a big deal if you've been marching a certain way for, I don't know, 100 years and then you switch it up. Big deal. So let's see. So after 150 years of colonial rule, switching up your march sounds like a lot more needs to be switched up. So let's look at this uniform. I'm bored. It's boring. I hate it. No, I'm being too tough. I'm being too tough. Let me calm down. Okay, let me give it another second. All right, so let's break it down. The color I don't actually hate. It's kind of a steel gray green, okay? The color is not terrible, okay? You guys, I'm trying to make this exciting. I'm trying to think of what to say, but it's a button-up shirt with pleated front pants and a white, super wide belt. This is not giving. It's not getting me excited whatsoever. It really just looks like a 100% cotton standard issue, grayish green, not very exciting uniform. I don't know whether the point was to try to blend in, whether this color has some camouflage abilities I don't know about, but I think it's kind of boring. What I do think is cool, the reason they've got that string out is because they're practicing the march, and I remember seeing this before in the military. They've kind of got that string there so you can get the feeling of seeing exactly to touch that string, either with your boot when you're marching or with your hand when you are marching, just so you can kind of get the feel of exactly where to be, because obviously we won't have everyone in unison. And were they wearing gloves? Okay, so they're not wearing gloves right here. I can't remember whether they were wearing gloves before, but having your hands in unison, if you are wearing gloves, super important. You guys, this uniform is whack. I'm sorry, I don't know what more to say. I mean, it is a cop uniform. I've just seen much better cop uniforms. I'm going to find positives, okay? Let's be kinder and gentler, okay? I'm going to find some positives, and I did find a positive. All of their shirt cuffs are rolled up perfectly, precisely. Everyone is the same. Super duper points for that. Can y'all see I'm trying really hard to find something cute about this uniform?
My name is Kaur Mukjot. I'm an American-born Indian. I grew up in India and came to Hong Kong at the age of 8.
Now we're talking. Now this is a little more what I'm used to seeing a police officer look like. It looks like before maybe those were just their casuals, and this is like their on-duty uniform. What I see here is the same button-up blouse, but she's got a black tie, and then they've got some really strong epaulets here. So I think the epaulets are like a significant part of their uniform. Obviously, they're making it really stand out. And that's interesting. I haven't really seen that before as part of a police officer's uniform.
I speak 5 languages, which are English, Cantonese, Hindi, Punjabi, and Urdu.
Okay, first of all, she speaks 5 languages. Girl, okay. You go, sis. I'm noticing on the epaulette, one of the reasons I guess why their epaulets are such a strong piece of their uniform is because it looks like it has their badge number on it, or their employee number on there. And it's interesting because they don't have their names on their uniforms, you know, like it would say Smith or whatever, like a little Velcro on a police officer's left chest, but they just have their numbers on their epaulets. Very interesting.
Being able to speak 5 languages has its own perks. So when I do cases such as disputes, dead body, or family violence, I'm able to use my own languages to help people of my own community.
What did she just do? This has nothing to do with uniforms, and I am no professional gunsmith, armorer, what are they called? A professional gun gal? But I am pretty sure that she is handling this gun like an absolute maniac. Gun people, please get down in the comments below and tell me, to test your gun to see if it's got bullets in it, are you supposed to pull it out of the holster, point it at the wall, and pull the trigger a couple times? Is that how we're testing guns now? I have to rewind this and see if that's what she really did.
When I do cases such as disputes, dead body, or family violence, I'm able to use my own languages to help people of my own community.
Bro, That's what she did. She freaking took the gun out, pointed it at the wall, pulled the trigger a couple times and said, it's safe, put it in the holster. Just, you want to make sure that if you're a cop, you're carrying around an unloaded gun. I'm acting like I know anything about what police officers are supposed to do, and I do not, okay? Let's make that clear. What she did just looked absolutely freaking bananas to me. Please, someone comment down below and tell me, is this good gun safety, gunsmithing, gunnery, gunation, whatever it is?
People of my own community, they see me during the scene. They tend to trust me more as people sharing their own skin color. I'm really proud to say that my ethnic root can contribute to the community and to the Hong Kong police force. Hum hai Hong Kong police. We are Hong Kong police.
When you think of Hong Kong police, this is not the face that you would normally think of. So I think it's really exciting that they're showing this young woman as a representative. I still think it's interesting that it just says like police and not their name. Yeah, I guess it's just how they do it over there. We do it different over her. We're coming full circle now. So before we were seeing that they were practicing their new goose step, and now they are performing it. Okay, so they're performing it. Let's see how they did. Come on, guys. Now we're talking. Okay, so obviously I was being a little harsh before. They were wearing their casual practice uniforms. I am sure that's not what it's called, but just for fun, we'll call them their practice uniforms. It's obviously that they are wearing their dress whites for this celebration, and wow, they look fantastic. Okay, the black and white is very sleek. The stripe down the leg, very, very smart change in the uniform, because now they are goose stepping. That's gonna look like, man, that's gonna look so in unison. That's gonna look so good. So this is a really big deal. This is their flag raising ceremony. And now you can see a lot closer look. Before, I think their uniforms, I was surprised there were no laurel leaves, there were no decorations, there were nothing to kind of signify any rank or anything, between the police officers. But here you can absolutely tell. Here we've got the braids, the ropes, the ribbons, the decorations, the medals, all the things that you kind of want to see when you see a military style outfit. And this is something sickening that I have never seen before. Okay, usually you see a uniform and then the medals are all brightly colored regardless of the color of the uniform. But with this, and also the braids they have are usually gold to kind of signify specialness, or honor. But they've got everything done in tonal. So all of their medals, all of their stripes, everything is white on white. I have never seen that before, but that looks really, really clean, y'all. That looks cool. I think this is an amazing upgrade for the Hong Kong police. Bravo. So how many Reviewniforms do I give the Hong Kong police? I'm gonna give them 4 Reviewniforms, because they have really come a long way, obviously, and they have gone through a lot to fight for this switchover. So I'm proud of them for their flag and proud of them for this uniform change. I love this white on white. I think this is something that I'm surprised hasn't been copied before, because it looks clean. Okay guys, I'm ready for the next one.
I'm Max Garcia. Today is July 1st. It is a Thursday and I'm right now driving to work. I work at Dunkin.
Okay, cute. We're gonna see like a little day in the life of a Dunkin worker. So we've got the Dunkin visor that we're seeing here. So we're just getting right into the uniform. Okay, first of all, he's so cute. Oh, all right, Tara. Snap out of it. All right, so we're looking at the hat, and this is just a classic visor, which for me is such a cute look compared to a cap. And I know it doesn't kind of cover as much hair, and it doesn't like work with everyone's hair quite as well, but I love a visor and I think it's really cute. So I'm glad they chose that for their uniform. But if you look at his visor, look at the top part of it, the flat part, you can tell that it is super duper wrinkled. Now, the only only way for a cap to really get that wrinkled probably means, well, number one, he's probably thrown it in the back of his car or shoved it into his bag. I can tell that this is a low quality visor. And I can tell because inside of a visor, to make it stand up or to make any cap stand up, you're gonna have to have some type of interfacing or some type of something that we call a stay to make it a fabric or a cardboard or a plastic or something that obviously holds it up, or fabric would just fall over, you know? I mean, hats in fact are just made of cotton, right? Inside this hat, I can tell that this is made with some type of paper or cardboard by the way it's folded, and that's just a sign of a cheaper product as compared to what you might see a golfer or a tennis player wearing on TV, a more premium hat that definitely has fabric that they're using, definitely layers of fabric that they're using for interfacing. It's just more expensive to make it that way. So I can tell it's a cheap visor. No big deal. He works at Dunkin. It's fine.
So I'm gonna take you for a day in the life of a minimum wage Dunkin employee to roll right now.
I am Musnavi, and you probably never heard my name. Reports of my fame are greatly exaggerated, exacerbated by the fact that my syntax is highly complicated, because I immigrated from the single greatest little.
Did y'all see the amount of sugar that they pour in there? The amount of sugar in Dunkin's coffee just gives me diabetes just thinking about it.
Place in the Caribbean, Dominican Republic. I love it. Jesus, I'm jealous of it. And beyond that, ever since my folks passed on, I haven't gone back.
So I'm looking at his uniform and he's got his cute little visor on, and what we've got is just a simple long sleeve, you know, quarter zip shirt on, okay? It's probably some poly cotton blend, and we've got a logo on the left sleeve. This has been done a million times before, but is it cute? Is it clean? Do I like it? Yes. For whatever reason, you know, you gotta judge every uniform on its own merits. And I know that FedEx had a black uniform and I was just like hating on it so hard, but this one tends to work for me because of the colors. I know it's all black, but the Dunkin colors just look great. That neon orange and that neon pink popping off of the black. You only need a little bit of it to make this uniform look really cute, actually. So yeah, it's super basic, but I'm not mad at it. I'm just judging on what I see.
God damn, I gotta get on then. Oh, the milk is gone bad. Hold up just a second. Why is everything in this fridge warm and tepid? I better step it up and fight the heat, cause I'm not making any profit if the coffee isn't light and sweet.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Molly.
Okay, hi Molly, she's so cute. Another Dunkin employee showing us their uniform, and obviously this has gone downhill fast. There's only one way to make a long sleeve screen printed t-shirt uniform worse, and that's just to make it a polo, right? Talk about basic and kind of boring. One thing I do think is cute is if you can really look at her hat, it says time to make the coffee, Dunkin. This goes back to some marketing from the 1980s. It was a guy who would wake up every morning at like when the sun was up and say, time to make the donuts. And then at night, time to make the donuts, and he'd be going in and out of his door like time to make the donuts, and finally he like met himself like time to make the donuts. And the whole point is because Dunkin Donuts makes them fresh all day, which in the 80s nobody was doing except for like grocery stores. So I think it's really cute, and I'm gonna give Dunkin major points for kind of taking on Starbucks and also going back in their history on that marketing, and instead of time to make the donuts, time to make the coffee, because I know a lot of people really like Dunkin Donuts coffee. It is like lifeblood to people, I know. While we're on the topic of donuts, it's like an East Coast, West Coast rap divide battle when it comes to donuts. Some people are absolutely dead for Dunkin. They go every day, they'll do anything for Dunkin. I myself am a Krispy Kreme gal, okay? I mean, no shade to the Dunkin lovers, but when I see that hot and fresh neon sign glowing in the distance, that's just let me know they're hot and they're ready and they need to get in my mouth. Y'all are children. You can't handle it. You can't handle this.
So this is obviously the uniform. You have a cap, you have an apron with the little Dunkin symbol, and you have to wear a white t-shirt with jeans. Right now I'm wearing leggings because, you know, I'm filming a video. And obviously you have to have your hair up, but again, this is a video. I didn't get my uniform actually until after the first week, so just be prepared when you're wearing the white shirts without the apron to get a little bit of coffee and mocha and all like the little flavorings on it and everything. Be prepared for that.
I was wrong. I thought we went all the way to the bottom with a white polo, but from what she said, it gets even worse. You can wear a white t-shirt. And the only thing more ill-fitting and able to look bad is a plain white t-shirt. At least a polo has a collar and is made out of a little bit of a heavier fabric than a t-shirt. I guess all the Dunkins can really maybe regionally choose what their uniforms are, but her cap and her apron are giving basic barista. She is really cute, and I just think that the Dunkin' Donuts donut dealers deserve their due. I did it! You guys, I'm incredible. Yeah, I think they deserve a little bit better than a white t-shirt and an apron. It's giving basic barista. And one thing we don't want when it comes to uniforms is basic. Why? Because we don't have to. There's too many cute choices out there today. So what do I give the Dunkin' Donuts uniform? 2 Reviewniforms, 1 for the orange and 1 for the pink, because their colors are amazing, their branding is really cute. Everyone loves Dunkin'. It brings, even though I'm a Krispy Kreme gal, we established that Dunkin' brings a smile to everybody. So I'm gonna give them 2 Reviewniforms just because their logo and branding is amazing, and I think whatever colors you put those on, it's gonna be adorable. So guys, tell me what you thought. Did you think that the Dunkin' Donuts uniform was the cutest? Was it the Hong Kong police? Or were you like me and you love the way of the samurai? I wanna know what you think. Please leave me some comments down below, and please comment below, any of you gun guys and gals, and tell me if what she was doing with that gun was right, because that was something else. I've never seen anything like that. Please make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any videos from Reviewniforms and Uniform Expert Reacts. And don't forget the most important thing, it's okay to judge uniforms, but not people. Love everyone.